Welcome to the Community Preservation Committee. We're live here from City Council Auditorium, One Government Center, Fall River, City Council Hearing Room. Our annual meeting agenda, Monday, May 24th, 2021, 5:30. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recording or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present, are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Roll call. Start with Caroline and work our way down.
Present.
Just state your name and then.
Caroline Aubin.
Victor Farias, Park Board.
Alexander Silva, City Council, Pony.
Kristen Cantara Oliver, Historical Commission.
John Brandt, Conservation.
Paul Machado, Mayoral.
Danielle Pixley, Mayoral.
Okay, we also have Alex from Fall River TV, Sandy Dennis from the CPC Administration. We're missing John Ferreira tonight, and we still have housing still vacant. Citizen input?
None.
None? Okay. Next on the agenda is election of officers. Start with the chair. Is that what we do?
I'd like to nominate John Brandt for chair.
I second that motion.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, we'll take a vote. We'll work our way down from Caroline.
Yes.
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 And yes.
I accept, thank you. Now we need a nomination for vice chair. I nominate Chris Oliveira.
Second that.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, we'll start with Caroline.
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, vote passes.
I accept, thank you.
Okay, next is secretary nominations. I nominate Paul Machado.
Second it.
All righty, any other nominations? Okay, we'll start with Caroline.
Yes.
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 Congratulations, Paul.
Does he accept?
Yes.
All righty. Next on the agenda is a message from the chair. On behalf of the Community Preservation Committee, I would like to thank everyone for their continued support of Community Preservation Act, CPA, and helping to make our community a better place. As recently elected chairman of the committee, I would like to extend my gratitude to every committee member for their efforts in the coming together and joining forces during an incredibly challenging year with the COVID pandemic. We not only accomplished the work at hand, but accomplished it in a timely, thoughtful, and effective manner, while adapting to new ways of conducting business. The Community Preservation Act, CPA, is a smart growth tool that helps communities preserve open space, historic sites, create affordable housing, and develop outdoor recreational facilities. As we celebrate our 8th year, the Community Preservation Committee has funded over 80 projects, including historic preservation, open space, recreation, community housing. The hard work, commitment, and dedication of this committee has made a real difference in improving Fall River's parks, restoring and preserving our historic buildings and assets, protecting and preserving our precious open space, and creating affordable housing units. I would like to share some of the highlights of our success. CPC has funded $1.612,193 in city park projects. That total will exceed $2 million if the FY22 projects get approved by City Council. CPC has approved over $1 million in funding to preserve and protect some 75 acres of open space. Fall River was recognized by Community Preservation Commission for being the first Community Preservation Committee to perform their meetings at Viva Zoom. It would be remiss if I didn't thank our former Chair, James Souza, for his years of hard work, dedication, his passion and commitment to the committee, and to the community. And a special thanks to Administrative Assistant Sandy Dennis for her organizational skills, handling all the paperwork, and keeping our board running smoothly. Our involvement on the committee is an example of value that we can contribute an incredible, unique opportunity of giving back to our community. I look forward to working with the committee and our community partners during the FY23 funding year. Thank you. Do I need to have a motion to table the financial report till next meeting?
I'll make a motion to table the financial report until the next meeting.
Okay, a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we'll start with Danielle.
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 So we'll table that till the next month's meeting. Project updates. Let's see, we'll start with how about we just go down the fall We'll start with the Fall River Historical Housing Committee. Alex, you want to go over your first three projects? Is there any updates?
Sure. So for the Fall River Historical Society, the remaining project was for fiscal year 2018. It was to restore the wood trim and slate roof sections on the exterior of the east wing of the main building. It's mostly complete, but it's still incomplete because the remaining work is, they still have to paint the east wing of the museum building. They had a master painter who retired, so they're still looking for a painter who can live up to that quality of work with the right experience. They had someone who wanted to spray paint the building, so they're still looking and hope to have someone soon. And then the next one is the Sanborn map one. Is that what you're seeing? So the next one for Sanborn Maps, FY18's project for $19,300 was complete. That was for the 1883 Atlas, Book 1, Book 73, Book 79, Book 130, and Book 133. There was a second application project in FY 2020 for $6,207, and I believe it's still incomplete. The project applicant, Tony Diaz, he was a former member of the committee, and I think when he left the committee there was a little confusion as to who was going to bring that project home. So last I heard, the company in North Carolina who does the scanning hasn't received those books yet, so I think it's just a matter of sending them. If Sandy might want to speak to it.
And Alex, I'll update you on that because they are at the shipping location and
Okay.
I can work with you on that.
Okay, so that one's still incomplete, but it's on its way. It was just for, I believe, 2 or 3 remaining books that needed to be scanned. Then the last project that I had was Freedom Street Fire Station and Police Station. It was a project awarded in fiscal year 2020. I believe it's for $25,000. It's still incomplete at large. The architectural work has been completed, but they haven't gotten a contractor yet to do the mason work repairs. And when I spoke with Mr. Jacobson, he was going to reach out to the architect again to try and figure out when they can get a contractor to finish that project. And I reiterated our desire to have it completed in a timely manner.
Okay. Your projects are next, Caroline. I know you might not have been able to get to some of these projects, so if you don't have an update, don't feel, since we just had our freedoms out there where we can get around, so if you want to just go down your list.
I do have a couple of updates. The first one is for the Dr. Fisk House, for the interior work, specifically for the HVAC system. According to James Sewell, the work is about 99% complete. All of the heaters and ACs and HVAC systems were installed in the house, but one of the systems was not properly hooked up, and so they are waiting to get a proper business to fix that for them. The preservation guidelines, also from the Preservation Society, are going to be underway. They hired an architectural firm to create the professional set of historic guidelines. and the work stopped when the COVID-19 pandemic occurred. And the original firm dropped out of their project. Since then, they've had a new firm, Preservation Design Partners, that will be completing the guidelines. They estimate approximately 3 to 6 months until completion, and they've recently just begun working with them, so they're hoping that within the next year it'll be finished. And I did get an update for the Academica Club. I spoke to the owner's lawyer, who told me that the property and the other properties that are associated with it are currently under a sale agreement with KAT Management LLC. The buyer wants to convert the structure at 627 South Main Street into apartments. They are going aboard the city's zoning board by mid-July, or mid-June for a July hearing, excuse me. But so far, they haven't used any of the money from the original grant that was given to them. They did say that according to the conversations during negotiations, that the new owner is hoping that they could have the money eventually sent over to them, but I don't believe that's possible.
Yeah, maybe on that one, I don't know if,
Do we have a deed
Because-
restriction on that one yet?
None of the deed restrictions have been recorded yet. That deed restriction, I don't remember if that's on our list of completed or if that's one that we're waiting for.
I'll check for you. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll check my
No,
list.
I have the list.
Okay.
I just don't, off the top of my head, know.
Okay. So, Danielle, I'm not sure if you were able to get out and check any of your projects?
I can help her out on a
Okay.
couple of hers.
Thank you.
On the Water Street study, Danielle, that one's been completed. And the Eagle Event Center's been completed. And the Maritime Electrical is in process. And I'm gonna forward you a recent update that I just had on that one, so.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. So mine's next. We have the Fall River Fire Museum. That was for the 172, which we called back in. We didn't fund. The school administration was, I think they're all set with the windows, but we haven't signed off on that yet. And then the Central Fire Station, they've completed their work. And Bank Street, I have to check on that because I'm not sure if they completed everything on it.
Bank Street's done, I believe, John.
Bank Street is done? I wasn't quite sure if it
Central
was or
Fire's
it
done.
wasn't.
Sandy, I didn't hear what you said.
Central Fire and Bank Street are done.
Okay. All right, well, John Ferrer's not here. Sandy, do you have any updates on his stuff?
On John, let's see. I think all of his are still in progress.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think any of his are completed yet.
okay. Chris, updates?
Okay, so 64 Durfee Street, that was from FY 2020 for redeveloping housing units. The windows are in the process now of going in. The interior work is all roughed in, so they're gonna be doing the finished work on the interior, and it's looking like it's possibly going to be ready in November. And People Incorporated, so I heard from Mr. Daly, so the project may not be beginning until mid to late September because, according to the contractor, because of the backlog of work that they have and the backlog of slate roof repair. So that one still is in the process and they haven't begun that one yet. Private Joseph Francis Green it was FY19 for the wrought iron fence. That It's been completed, it has not been signed off because there's an issue with the fence where, the land needs to be leveled because the fence is in, it looks very nice, but you can't open the part that you need to get in. So I did speak with, Tammy Mutino and told her what needed to be done, with the ground, so she's gonna be looking into that. And I had also, spoken with Tammy about the North Park existing conditions study from FY18. And, she doesn't know yet. She's gonna have to look into that one because she's not sure who exactly is supposed to be overseeing that, if it's her or if it's the park department. And, originally it had always been that department because when, Mr. Gallagher was here, it had been him that was overseeing that. And, it was basically what has to happen is it needs to have an RFP put out for somebody to come in and just do the existing condition study, but we're still waiting for that to happen because they're not sure who is in charge of that, so that's where that one stands.
And the library roof is done.
Oh, the library
Yeah.
is finished, yeah.
It's done.
Paul, you're next.
My projects are the water department projects. I spoke with Mr. Labossiere. Mr. Labossiere indicated that each of the projects that involved acquisition of land have been completed. And as you know, the projects in the bioreserve, the restrictions are prepared by an agency. I don't think it's the trustees of reservation. I think it's the,
The Watershed, I think, Alliance. They use different organizations. They don't use the same one for any one
so
of the
Mr.
projects.
Labossiere indicated that for each of the land acquisition properties, they are completed and deed restrictions are placed on those properties. Looking on this list, there is historic water department documents. I don't have an update on that. I can get that.
All right.
And the last one is the pumping station. I spoke with Mr. Furland. He said that the design is not yet complete. He expects an RFP to go out in the next few months. He did indicate that the building is already covered by a deed restriction as it has received mass historical funding in the past.
Vic, you're up next.
The North Burial Ground has been, the project has started. There's a lot of work that I think is gonna be needed to be done a little bit there. And, but it's, I think, anything else, did they tell you anything?
Yeah, the Veteran Center's done, and yet the wall, the
It's done.
Vietnam Wall just finished. So those two are complete on your list.
We'll have to call Mike Keane, because they had wanted to start on the gates.
The gates, yes, the gate.
They almost finished with the stonework, but they don't want to finish it because then they'd have to re-go
Like, it's
in.
the gates, it's not
So they-
lining up, and I think the roof too.
Yeah, but on the gates, they didn't have funding for it. That's what they got approved
Right.
for this year.
Yes.
But I told them you can't start on it till you get the funding. And so that's kind of on a hold for them. So, alrighty. Okay, so that's all for the project updates. Then we also had the updates for next year's plan. So we could have like a committee of like 3 or 4. Any volunteers?
I'll volunteer, because I have a lot of that on my computer already.
Okay. Chris? Paul? I'll be on it, and then Sandy, you'll help
I'll
out?
sit in, yeah. I would probably just do 3 members, because you don't want to violate open meeting with more than 3.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That is
3.
3.
That is 3.
Me,
Okay,
him,
so who's on it? Kristen, Paul,
And me.
and
Did
And I'm
Paul
not-
say did you say you wanted to, or did John just volunteer?
John just
John just
volunteered.
volunteered him. If anybody else wants, if anyone else wants to be on it instead of.
You don't have to,
making
Paul, if you don't
do
want
it.
to. I just know it's a key area for you, so,
Does anyone else want it? It's a, you can't just make Paul do it.
no.
Does
Oh, no, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay,
Sure.
good, then. There you go.
I won't volunteer you for anything else.
Okay.
Then I'd like our media committee that we started talking about, I think it's time that we start showing people a little more what we've been doing over the last couple of years. And we got, I mean, just before Facebook, Instagram, different avenues of getting our word out there, what kind of job we're doing and what we're doing for our community. Like live interviews with some of the past applications that have finished their projects, like short little videos, just getting it out there where people are looking, going like, oh, geez, this is what this committee does, and all the good stuff that we do that the city sometimes can't get done. So if we could have probably just 2 on that, if anyone wants to volunteer.
I can volunteer to help with that.
Anyone else like to help out?
I'll volunteer.
Okay, thank you, guys. That's it. The only other thing we have on, we'd like to do tonight is, Jim, could you come up here? Now, Jim Souza was a founding member of this committee back in 2012. I always said we were the last of the Mohicans, and he left me. The board here would like to give this to you.
Thank you.
On behalf of your 9 years of dedication and community service.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
That's so
Jim.
nice of you. I appreciate that, guys and ladies.
We'll miss you.
Yes.
I'm around. Great job with this year's rounds, too. Good project, nice job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Second? Okay, roll call? Carolyn?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned.